Fans go wild as Soo Hyun admits feelings for Kim Ji-won, shocking 2024 photo proven true. What if the photo that fans once dismissed as a wild rumor turned out to be the truth all along? In a stunning twist, Soo Hyun has finally admitted his feelings for Kim Ji-won. And the internet can't stop buzzing. Join Red Carpet Revealed as we uncover every detail behind this jaw-dropping revelation, right here, right now. What if a photo that fans once dismissed as nothing more than a cleverly staged illusion turned out to be the key to unlocking one of the biggest celebrity stories of the decade? That is exactly what happened when Soo Hyun, South Korea's most beloved actors, finally admitted his feelings for Kim Ji-won, the rom-com queen adored by millions worldwide. The entertainment world erupted, social media imploded, and fans who had once argued relentlessly over whether the infamous 2024 leaked photo was real or fake suddenly found themselves vindicated. It was a moment that blurred the boundaries between rumor and reality, between speculation and confirmation, between dreams and truth. And it all unfolded in a way no one could have predicted. Soo Hyun has long been hailed as the epitome of a Hallyu star. From his breakout role in Dream High to his legendary performance in My Love from the Star, his career has been nothing short of meteoric. He is the kind of actor who commands attention simply by stepping into a room, whose name alone can guarantee a drama's international success. Ji-won, meanwhile, carved out her own shining legacy, with unforgettable roles in Descendants of the Sun, Fight for My Way, and My Liberation Notes. She became the face of relatable heroines. The actress whose every smile felt genuine and whose tears felt heartbreakingly real. Together, the thought of Soo Hyun and Ji-won as more than colleagues had always hovered like a tantalizing dream in the minds of fans. That dream first ignited into frenzy in early 2024, when a grainy photo began to circulate online. The picture, snapped late at night on a quiet street in Seoul, seemed to show Soo Hyun and Ji-won walking side by side, faces partially obscured by masks, body language unmistakably intimate. He appeared to be leaning slightly toward her, and she seemed to be laughing, her hand brushing his arm. Within hours, the image went viral. Fans zoomed in, analyzed shadows, debated angles. Was it really them? Or was it just two lookalikes caught in the perfect storm of coincidence? Agencies were quick to dismiss the chatter. Statements insisted the photo was fabricated, the result of clever editing and wishful thinking. But not everyone was convinced. The way he stands, that posture is so uniquely Soo Hyun. One fan insisted in an online forum. Another countered, look at her hair. That's Ji-won's style exactly. The fandom fractured into two camps, believers who swore the photo was authentic and skeptics who argued it was nothing more than a manipulative trick. For months, the debate raged. Memes were created, think pieces were written, and every new public appearance of the two stars was scrutinized for signs of hidden truth. Yet as the months passed without confirmation, the fervor began to die down. Fans moved on to new obsessions, new scandals, new ships to root for. The photo became a piece of internet lore, occasionally resurrected when either star appeared in public looking particularly radiant or when their paths crossed professionally. Still, a lingering question remained: what if it was real all along? That question was answered in the most shocking way imaginable. During what was expected to be a routine press event promoting Soo Hyun's latest project, the actor took an unexpected turn. Dressed sharply in a tailored suit, his usual confidence tempered by a subtle nervousness, he addressed the gathered crowd of reporters and fans with words no one could have anticipated. "There's something I've been holding back for a long time," he began, his voice steady but tinged with vulnerability. Cameras clicked furiously, pens poised, live-stream chats filled with emojis of shock. The truth is, that photo from last year, yes, it was real. And yes, my feelings for Ji-won are real too. The reaction was immediate and explosive. Gasps echoed through the hall. Reporters shouted questions over each other, and fans in the audience burst into tears, cheers, and applause. Within seconds, the confession spread across the internet like wildfire. Headlines screamed in bold fonts. Hashtags multiplied by the minute, and the fandom that had once been divided found itself united in collective euphoria. Kim Ji-won, who was not present at the event, became the most searched name online within minutes. Paparazzi scrambled to track her movements, while fans flooded her social media with messages of support and excitement. Would she confirm his words? Would she stay silent? Would this confession change everything about how both stars were perceived? The world held its breath, waiting. As the hours unfolded, reactions poured in from every corner of the globe. On Twitter, fans wrote, "We always knew the photo was real, and this is the best day of my life." Reaction videos on TikTok showed fans screaming, crying, hugging one another. In Seoul, fans gathered outside Soo Hyun's agency headquarters, chanting his name and waving banners of support. In Los Angeles, New York, and London, K-drama fan clubs hosted impromptu celebration parties, streaming together as if they had all witnessed history. Celebrities joined the chorus. Co-stars posted congratulatory messages, while directors and producers hinted at potential projects that could now feature the two stars together, not just as on-screen partners but as a real-life couple. Entertainment talk shows dissected every word of Soo Hyun's confession, analyzing his tone, his body language, choice of phrasing, and inevitably, the infamous 2024 photo resurfaced. This time no longer as a question mark but as undeniable proof. As once dismissed as a hoax had transformed into a symbol of hidden truth, finally brought into the light. Korean media wasted no time. Dispatch ran a front-page article titled, "Kim Soo Hyun Breaks the Silence, the Photo Was Real." Sports Chosen framed it as a daring move in an industry notorious for secrecy, while international outlets like BBC Entertainment and CNN Asia called it a landmark confession that could reshape fan expectations forever. The New York Times even published an opinion piece asking, "Is this the start of a new era of honesty in K-drama?" Industry insiders were both shocked and impressed. A veteran talent manager told a local newspaper, "This is unprecedented. Stars usually deny until the very end. Soo Hyun just rewrote the playbook." A cultural critic noted, "It's not just about love. It's about power. By controlling the narrative, he's taking back control from agencies, tabloids, and rumor mills." Fans, meanwhile, were on an emotional roller coaster. Longtime believers felt vindicated. In forums with triumphant posts like, "We told you so," and finally, "Justice for the 2024 photo." Skeptics, on the other hand, admitted defeat with memes captioned, "Was wrong, happy to be wrong." A sense of unity washed over the fandom, bridging divisions that had once seemed unbridgeable. Beneath the celebration lay nervous anticipation. Kim Ji-won respond? Would she echo his words? Or would she remain silent, leaving his confession hanging in the air like a half-finished story? The movement she made became headline news when she was spotted leaving her home the following morning. The simple act of carrying a coffee cup was dissected as a potential signal. "She looks happy, maybe she'll confirm soon," wrote one blogger. Others worried, what if she doesn't feel the same? Tension was palpable, and the stakes higher than ever. This was no longer about a blurry photograph or idle speculation, it was about the future of two of Korea's brightest stars and the story they might choose to share together. And as of this unfolding saga closes, the world is left perched on the edge of its seat. The leaked photo was real. The confession was real. The feelings were real. The biggest question remains unanswered: how will Kim Ji-won respond? The confession that sent shockwaves through the industry was only the beginning. When Kim Soo Hyun admitted his feelings for Kim Ji-won and confirmed the authenticity of the infamous 2024 photo, he cracked open a door that had long been sealed shut on the Korean entertainment world. The truth was finally out. The fallout was nothing short of monumental. Fans who had once scrolled past the photo, torn between belief and disbelief, now held their heads high, proclaiming their loyalty louder than ever. But as the celebrations rang across the globe, a new storm brewed in the distance. Tremors of this storm were felt within the industry itself. Talent agencies, notorious for carefully orchestrating every move their stars make, convened emergency meetings. Soo Hyun's agency, to its credit, chose to stand firmly behind him, issuing a statement that praised his courage and asked fans to continue supporting him. But other agencies took note with unease. "If even Kim Soo Hyun can break protocol," one executive muttered in a leaked email, "what stops others from doing the same?" The confession was more than a personal revelation, it was a challenge to the unwritten rules of secrecy that had governed Korean showbiz for decades. Brands scrambled to respond. Some luxury fashion houses immediately jumped on the opportunity, releasing congratulatory posts and hinting at campaigns that would spotlight Soo Hyun and Ji-won as a power couple. One cosmetics brand released a teaser image of two intertwined hands with a tagline, "Love is the truest glow." Fans instantly connected to the pair. Sales soared. But not everyone celebrated. A few conservative sponsors hesitated, fearing that romance might overshadow professionalism. Behind the glossy advertisements and heartfelt social media posts, the business side of entertainment buzzed with speculation and calculation. Meanwhile, the world turned its gaze to Kim Ji-won. She remained silent. Or would she confirm her side of the story? For 2 long days after Soo Hyun's confession, she was nowhere to be found, at least publicly. Paparazzi tried to track her. Fans camped outside her agency, and online forums erupted with theories. Some claimed she was overwhelmed. Others suggested she was preparing a carefully crafted response. And then, on the 3rd day, she appeared. Promotional event for a brand she represented. Ji-won stepped onto the stage, radiant in a pastel dress that seemed to glow under the flashing cameras. The press erupted with questions. Shouts filling the air, all circling the same topic. She smiled softly, her hand to calm the noise. And then, steadiness that silenced even the most frenzied reporters, she said, "Yes, the photo was real. And yes, feelings are real too." The room erupted. Journalists clapped, fans screamed. And in that instant, every ounce of speculation dissolved into certainty. Kim Ji-won had not only confirmed Soo Hyun's confession, she had matched it. Word for word, heart for heart. Fandom went into a frenzy that dwarfed even the initial shock. Hashtags like Soo Hyun and Real and Dream Couple Forever trended worldwide for days. Twitter servers slowed under the sheer volume of posts. TikTok was flooded with edits of their dramas spliced together with a confession. Captions reading from real to real. Was a love story made not by writers or directors. 2 stars brave enough to embrace it under the harshest spotlight. The reaction was unprecedented. In Seoul, fans organized flash mobs, dancing toasts from their dramas while holding banners declaring their love eternal. In Tokyo, a bookstore sold out overnight of magazines featuring either star on the cover. In Los Angeles and London, fan clubs hosted confession parties, playing videos of the moment and celebrating as if it were their own wedding. News anchors described it as a cultural phenomenon, comparing it to the marriages of Hollywood royalty. Beyond the joy, the confession had far-reaching implications. Entertainment analysts debated whether this marked the dawn of a new era. For decades, Korean stars had lived in the shadows of their public images, forced to deny relationships until they could no longer hide them. But now, the most bankable actor in Korea had not only admitted his feelings but had done so willingly, in front of the world. "Changes everything," said one critic on a late-night talk show. He didn't wait for Dispatch to expose him. He didn't let rumors dictate the narrative. He told the story himself. That's power. Other actors, inspired by the move, began hinting at their own truths. An Idol actor casually mentioned his girlfriend in a live stream, something unheard of just weeks before. A veteran actress, when asked about her private life, laughed and said, "Maybe it's time we stop hiding." Whether or not this shift endures, seed had been planted, and it carried Soo Hyun and Ji-won's names. Of course, not everyone reacted with celebration. Corners of the fandom expressed concern, fearing that their professional projects might suffer. What if they're typecast only as a couple now? One commenter worried. Others fretted about the industry backlash, pointing to past instances where stars had lost endorsements after revealing relationships. Yet these voices were drowned out by the overwhelming tide of joy. People themselves handled the aftermath with surprising grace. Weeks after the confession, they appeared together for the first time at an award ceremony. The room buzzed as they entered hand in hand, smiles lighting up their faces. Photographers nearly toppled over each other to capture the moment. And when they were called to the stage to present an award, the applause lasted several minutes, louder and longer than anyone else's that night. It was as though the industry itself had given them its blessing. In interviews that followed, both stars spoke candidly about their choice. Soo Hyun admitted, "I was scared. For a long time. Thought honesty would ruin everything. But keeping silent was heavier than speaking out." Ji-won added, "We realize that love is not something to be ashamed of. It's something to protect, but also something to share." Words resonated far beyond their fandom. Relationship counselors, cultural critics, and even politicians quoted their confession as an example of courage and authenticity. Months later, the confession was still making headlines. Documentaries were pitched about the phenomenon. Editorials hailed it as the confession that changed K-drama forever. Fans continued to create art, music videos, and stories inspired by their love. And whenever either star appeared in public, chants of both their names rang out together, inseparable in the minds of millions. Infamous 2024 photo, once the subject of ridicule and debate, now hung in fan rooms around the world like a sacred relic. What was once blurry and uncertain had become clear and undeniable, a snapshot of a love that dared to be real. And as Soo Hyun and Ji-won continued their journey, fans knew they were witnessing not just a romance but a revolution. The story is still unfolding, with new chapters yet to be written. Will they star together again in a drama? This time as a real couple portraying fictional love? Will they step further into the spotlight? Perhaps even toward marriage? No one knows for sure. But the world waits breathlessly. Because if one confession could ignite such an explosion, what will happen when the next milestone arrives? For now, one truth remains unshakable. Kim Soo Hyun and Kim Ji-won have proven that love, even under the brightest lights and the harshest scrutiny, can thrive when it is chosen with courage. Their voices cracked the silence of an industry. Their photo shattered the walls of denial. And their confession melted hearts across continents. Fans went wild, and in their joy, they carried this love story higher than any drama rating or box office record could ever reach. And so the curtain falls on this chapter. An ending. But with a promise. The photo was real. The feelings were real. The confession was real. And the love story of Kim Soo Hyun and Kim Ji-won is only just beginning. As the world continues to buzz, one thing is undeniable: Kim Soo Hyun and Kim Ji-won's confession has redefined what it means to be a star in the Korean entertainment industry. The photo was real. The feelings were real. The love story is unfolding before our very eyes. Fans can celebrate. Critics can analyze. Agencies can scramble, but nothing can erase the seismic impact of that one moment of truth. Now the biggest question remains: if one confession could set the world ablaze, what earth-shattering revelation will come next? The stage is set, the lights are on, and the world is waiting. On behalf of Red Carpet Revealed, we extend our deepest gratitude to every reader and fan who followed this incredible journey. Your energy, your voices, and your unwavering passion have turned this love story into a global phenomenon. To the fans who stayed up through the night refreshing timelines, those who celebrated across continents, and to everyone who believed in the magic of love, we thank you. And to Kim Soo Hyun and Kim Ji-won, thank you for reminding us all that honesty, courage, love can shine brighter than any spotlight.